Welcome to 3 Count Commentary. So let's talk about NWA Powerrr from May 18th, 2021. We started the show with a message from William Patrick Corgan because that sounds far more official than Billy Corgan. And the long and the short of this whole spiel is that Strictly Business is out of line for refusing to wrestle in the tag team title match and not showing up for this episode of Powerrr. So Corgan is saying that, hey, we're gonna have to levy some fines, and we're gonna have to make some changes. So now they're saying that these guys don't show up next week, then Adonis and Aldis will both be stripped of their titles. Aldis has already been fined a month's pay for skipping last week's show, and Adonis and Latimer were fined a week. I don't know what I think just the pay they would have made for that specific episode, and they were stripped of their tag team championship opportunity. So that set up tonight's main event, which will feature 2 more teams trying to figure out who's going to be the tag team champions or who's going to be the number 1 contenders for the tag team champions in the NWA. This was fine, of course. We're going with Strictly Business, basically saying, screw this. Camille also didn't show up because she's supposed to wrestle Thunder Rosa this week. She didn't show up. So Strictly Business basically went on strike and decided they weren't going to do things. And next week is the last Powerrr before their pay-per-view. So hopefully there's something big planned there. And we'll be watching. We'll be waiting. We'll be seeing what's up. So the first match was for the television title, Matt Cross versus the Pope. So if you're new to this idea, maybe you're not haven't been following, there's a concept called the Lucky Seven. And so if you win or defend television title 7 times, you get to turn it in and get a world title shot. This was match 4 for the Pope, and he actually won the match. This match was pretty by the numbers. He won with his finish. The Eliza Express was the run-in double knees to the back. And there was no real heat. There was nothing about this match. It's like Matt Cross. And Matt Cross is basically a creative wrestler. He shows up. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. He just wrestles his match, wins or loses, and then goes on about his business. I mean, I guess that's fine, but, does the guy have a personality? Does he have a voice? Is he like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe? Is he mute? I don't know. Whatever. The second match was Aaron Stevens and Kratos versus Marshe Rocket and Fred Rosser. This match was non-title because Aaron Stevens and Kratos are the tag team champions. They won the match. They defeated Marshe Rocket and Fred Rosser. This match was probably too long for me, far too long. And they basically, one wrestled as a babyface, the other wrestled as a heel. Aaron Stevens was being nice, being cordial. Kratos was being, rude and brutal. Kratos at one point almost refused to tag in. He didn't really want to tag in, but he ended up, he didn't want to lose, so he did tag out. After the match, after Aaron Stevens and Kratos win, Kratos attacked Fred Rosser and kept beating him up while Aaron Stevens was helping and trying to comfort Marshe Rocket because he had taken the L. We get a promo from Taryn Terrell and Melina, and they were talking about who's going to win between Thunder Rosa and Camille, to which obviously each one is the advocate for somebody. So Melina was like, oh yeah, Thunder Rosa is ready, and she's going to beat Camille when they have the match. And Taryn Terrell, who was the advocate for Camille, is like, oh, she's not ready. She's going to lose. Camille's too strong. And then Taryn Terrell, who was apparently injured, said that if Melina tried anything, even injured, she's going to kick her in the head. And I was like, okay, whatever. Whatever. I still don't understand why they're advocates for this situation. Both Camille and Thunder Rosa speak English. I don't know. Whatever. Speaking of Thunder Rosa, the third match of Thunder Rosa versus Jennacide. Jennacide, it works very gentle for such a big person. She's so big and she's very gentle. She very gently rammed Thunder Rosa into the ring posts and the turnbuckles, which are already padded. Thunder Rosa went after the legs. There was actually a pretty cool spot where she did like a running leg stomp in the corner. It's like sometimes to do something that's cool and yet effective, it doesn't take that much. Like that looked like it hurt. Even somebody the size of Thunder Rosa, who is not that big, if they take a running start and then just jump on your leg, like your knee or your shin or your thigh or something like that, that shit will fucking hurt. You know, like babies can step on your foot and hurt you. That's why you don't need to do flying whoop-de-doos to hurt somebody in a wrestling match. Something as simple, and Fred Yehi used to do that too. He used to step on your foot or smash your foot with his hand. Like something as simple as that can hurt and will legitimately hurt and be a legitimate distraction. And, you know, can open up opportunities in your offense. So why wrestlers will forego the most basic thing like stomping the foot, which people only do in matches where people don't wear boots. It's like you can step on somebody's foot while they're wearing shoes or boots. They're not wearing steel-toe boots. It is still hurt, you know? So I implore wrestlers to actually do simple things, you know, and stop trying to get heat by doing over-the-top flippity-doo-dah springboard such and suches. That was a nice move from Thunder Rosa. So Thunder Rosa wins with an ankle lock, which Jenna sold pretty well, because she was in the move for quite a while. So that was that. So Austin Idol and Tyrus came out next. Thunder Rosa is probably going to lose to Camille, by the way. But, you know, it was interesting for her to get a win. And they said, oh, yeah, Camille's watching. So, all right, cool. Austin Idol and Tyrus came out to announce that Tyrus will be the first man in the 14-man Battle Royal. I don't know what's up with the 14-man Battle Royal. Why it's got to be 14? What's the magic number when it comes to 14? They also had a list of the other men who were in the Battle Royal. And the commentator guy was flipping out like, how did you guys get this list? How did you get this list? And then Austin Idol says that, you know, Idolmania Sports Agency is special. So we get special treatment. But right now, Tyrus is the only guy with like any real, you know, winning clout that's in the match. So that should tell you what kind of match we're having here. Marche Rocket's in it, you know. So we should tell you what kind of 14 guys we're going to have in this match. I'm not thrilled about it. But, I mean, hey, you got to give it a chance. I'm not going to shit on it before I see it. So the main event, match 4, is The End. Odinson and Mike Perro, versus the War Kings of Jax Dane and Crimson. This is the number 1 contender for the tag team titles. And the War Kings won. And it was a decent match. It was pretty solid. 4 guys who are pretty much horses that can go out there and go and, you know, big guys doing big guy stuff. And it was pretty solid. It was a suplex elbow drop finish where I believe Jax Dane did a suplex and Crimson came off the top rope with an elbow drop. And then Odinson kicked out on 3. So they didn't completely bury those guys, the War Kings. They lost, but they didn't get killed, you know. It was a very close 3 count. It was actually some confusion at the end. But they was like, okay, you know, 1, 2, 3, he kicked out right at 3. So it was cool. So the War Kings will now wrestle Kratos and Aaron Stevens. I don't know when, but they're the number 1 contenders, and I'm pretty sure they're going to win the titles because Stevens and Kratos are going to implode. But that's NWA Powerrr. You know, not much in the way of star power on this show. They did further the storylines anyway, which is what you're supposed to do. And they're cycling out different talent, letting different talent do different things. Technically, it's a weak episode because there was nothing like super exciting that happened. But it was okay. So let me know what you guys think if you watched it. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.